Welcome. How are y'all doing? Today's topic is work sponsorship or getting married for a green card better? Ooh, that's a tough topic. It really, of course, depends what you're eligible for right now. Okay, and we'll discuss some options, um, especially it's February 6th today, and March is coming soon. In March, anytime when it comes about immigration and March comes up, we're talking about H-1B registration period. And even though it's not like a lottery anymore, it basically is. It's randomly selected. So again, today's topic is work sponsorship or getting married for green card better. And I want to see. Happy to answer any questions, folks. Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting. I'm here to solve your immigration problem and maybe even prevent it from happening in the first place. Welcome to the show. Again, if you have any questions, you're welcome to drop in the comments. I will try my best to answer it. If I think it's just a little bit, requires more detail in the sense that you probably need to schedule a consultation. Maybe it's too confidential. I'll definitely let you know. But in general, it's always a good idea to schedule a one-on-one with one of our attorneys, which, by the way, if you do want to speak with me directly, it's my pleasure. I appreciate it. I just have very limited time. So with that being said, I personally can't do the consultations for free anymore. But what I do is I confirm, I have meetings with my attorneys every day, every single day, to make sure that the strategy that we provide you is correct. Now, the other thing you need to know, sorry, I'm a little sick. Well, this is tough. We'll see if we can get through this live show without me having to stop the show because I was coughing. So, anyways, let's see. I do see some questions. Folks, I appreciate you spending some time with me. It's very nice of you because there's so many immigration lawyers now online sharing information. I'm trying my best to share accurate information. It's very important that you get accurate information because, in general, there's also people who are out there online who are not lawyers. Yeah, I don't know. YouTube is very easy. You can click a button, create a channel, share information, but you want to make sure it's accurate. Okay. Unfortunately, um, you have to check if it's correct. That's why on my shows, I like to share the USCIS website or any source I'm talking about, because especially even for reform, I don't. But which, by the way, I really don't think immigration reform is going to happen, at least at this time, unless somehow Republicans and Democrats can obviously work together. It's really, oh, I should have done this. The hearts, if they start to love each other, politically speaking, and get this done. But it's been 2001, I believe, was the last time they agreed to something related to immigration, and that was about the Child Citizenship Act of 2001. Oh my goodness, this whole time I coughed and then I turned off my mic. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you so much for the heads up, Jack. So appreciate it. Losing my voice over here, and I got to repeat it. Okay, is work sponsorship or getting married better? Now, folks joke around about this or nonchalantly say, "Oh, if you get married, it's going to be faster if you get married to a U.S. citizen." Yes, that is true, especially these days where there's fortunately some cases have the interview waived. Can you believe that? We just had our first one, I believe, last month. So that was wonderful news. The person was out of Chicago, lives in Chicago area, and got away, which is great because Chicago has a lot of cases. I believe that's a testament to our team and our proven checklist of evidence. Now, here's the deal, folks. People nonchalantly suggest getting married to a U.S. citizen as the best way. But the legal reason why it's the best way is because generally it's one of the fastest. Let's just put it, like if I had to put a number to it, I would say average 12 months. I'm not going to turn off my mic this time. Average 12 months. Sure, you could do self-petition through employment or national interest waiver. That could take less than 12 months. I've had some marriage cases take less than 12 months, but we don't say that to everyone because it could be a fluke, right? We don't control the government timing. It's on them. What we can control is our own internal timing of processing internally so we can file your case, which I'll talk more about that later. We do offer 3 different service levels primarily based on timing to file. Thanks, Chuck. So Anu, I'll try to answer your question soon. But in terms of work sponsorship, y'all need to get ready. If you have a college degree, or if you have OPT, or if you're in HR, recruitment for a company, you need to get ready for this. Or you're a PEO, I believe you call that Performance Employment Organization. Y'all need to get ready for H-1B season. That is coming up in first week of March. First 2 weeks is for registration. It's a 2-step process. You have to apply for it. And yes, it does require a degree, a bachelor's or a master's degree. So I know some of y'all watching may not have a degree, but even if you do have a degree, it has to be what we consider specialty occupation. Some people might get, I guess you could say, blown off by it because they think, oh, my job's not considered special. I mean, I don't think the government is really great at identifying what is a specialty occupation. We just, as attorneys, we argue it, right? That's what we do. And so yeah, we try. What we do in a consultation 101 is review your job type, your job description. It's very thorough, and we want to make sure that you're even qualified. Man, this cough is killing me. I don't believe it's COVID, by the way. But anyways, yes, we have to check that for you because even if you do get selected, it's a 2-step process. Okay, that doesn't mean you're automatically approved. After you get selected towards the end of March, we'll get that notification. And then before the end of June, you have to file the actual H-1B visa application package with the evidence, not just the form. All right. And some hot tips right here. If you don't have the degree actually yet, it's okay. I know it sounds very strange because the requirements say that you need a degree, but actually you could be about to graduate and complete your studies. So it's okay. Timing wise, you can still register in March. It's only $10 for the government with USCIS. With us, we charge $7.99 just for that part. Of course, if you do get selected, fortunately, then we do have other plans to upgrade per se. All right, for the next steps. Jexa will definitely answer your question. And my team and Jessica can reply to you specific for your mother's case, I believe. That's right. Oh, you just sent us an email. Wonderful. Okay, great. We'll reply to that very soon, which, by the way, folks, just chatting with a client a second ago, this is one of the things, because I go live Monday through Friday. I guess joining us live is one of the last resorts, but in case to contact us, but I'm always happy to talk about a case generally. But we have a new way for clients. If for some reason email doesn't work, but by the way, we do try to reply to emails within 24 hours or less. Sometimes it's like in 1 hour, but it's not it's not necessarily because we're literally waiting by the email inbox. No one really likes email, but I think it's still one of the best ways. But in case we don't reply to your email within 24 hours, there's a new portal, client support page on a website, which I don't want to publicly share it because it's really a benefit to clients and I don't want to get it clogged up, but with non-clients on accident. But it's a support page for clients where you can schedule appointment if you want to have a conversation as opposed to email, or if you think we missed your email for some reason, which we generally don't. I don't think we have. Maybe in terms of like going to spam or not, but we also have a Calendly appointment box for just client meeting, follow-up meeting, and also one for client interview prep meeting. So that way our team is, it helps with the workflow to get our cases completed sooner than later for y'all. Okay. So for those who are not clients of Team Law Group, that gives you an idea of what we do internally to provide you better customer service than 99.9% of other law firms. All right. So let's see here. And there's also, I'm going to have a webinar on Wednesday on LinkedIn. So maybe I shouldn't say this out loud for Instagram or YouTube to know, but I'm going to have the webinar on LinkedIn and about TN Visa this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Okay, Central Time. I'm going to share a link. Our marketing team is going to share a link in the comment section after the show. So stay tuned for that. Let me see if I can grab it now. Let's see. So in case you're interested, but TN Visa, let's see. Okay, there we go. I'm going to drop it in the link right here. Hopefully that works. Check it out. Okay, so it's there in the comment section. I'll also pin it as a comment later on. Sorry, on Instagram. It's just a bit more difficult to do that on IG. But other ways. Here's why, in terms of timing, work sponsorship is not. Oh, so TN Visa. Thanks for asking. Rise of the Phoenix. I meant to follow up with that. TN Visa is basically a visa for professionals, but only for people based country nationality from Canada or Mexico. And this is based on NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement from a long time ago. So unfortunately, it's not for other countries. I wish there was something better like that for other countries. And it's better in a sense if you're from that country because you can schedule interview much more quickly. It does not require, number one, it does not require prevailing wage. So employers, even though you will get paid, of course, I would suspect more than minimum wage. I can't guarantee for that future employer, but also because depending on the year, because of inflation, the salaries increased for the prevailing wage. So some companies were not as willing to sponsor people in general, let's say H-1B or anything else, but TN Visa does not require that. And plus for employment-based, like EB for residency, or people call it PERM for permanent residence based on employment, that requires a step that no one likes, and that's called labor certification. On average, or really minimum, it takes 8 months. 8 freaking months. That does not include for the petition. That does not include for recruitment time or the cooling off period after that. So EB takes on average about 2 years, okay? And that is if the law firm that you hire or the employer's law firm is on top of it, okay? All right, Rise of Phoenix, I'll take a look. Okay, I just clicked on it. Okay, cool. So, anyways, if you're from Canada or Mexico, consider TN visa. But again, that's also very restrictive. It's a it's it's available for like even graphic designers, but also available for mostly medical professions. But there's a lot more occupations, not just medical. So I can share that list with you. If you sign up, if you sign up for the webinar or that link, you check out that link via LinkedIn. I'll have another link. I think is freevisaclass.com. I just thought I was cool to okay to come up with that domain. So anyway, I just commented that on IG and you'll receive a link. Okay, there he goes. Thank you so much, Jexo. I appreciate it. Jexo said your team, he's a client. And thank you so much for referrals. Really happy that we helped your dad and your aunt. Man, his aunt's case, which I need to share that was a success story about his aunt. That their case was stuck for a while, and we got it up and going and approved. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for referring us to people you know. Which, by the way, if there's a way you want to refer us, best website, you can just send them Green Card Guys or my LinkedIn page. Okay, I try to update that with relevant information. Rise of the Phoenix, your question on IG. Which, by the way, if you do appreciate, at least for this, if you appreciate the way we share information, really just get straight to the point, or at least I try to. I know I go on tangents. Please smash the like button or the hearts in the respective channel. Thank you so much. Okay, Rise of the Phoenix. Can a green card holder sponsor someone who overstayed their visa? Yes, and I'm assuming you mean a marriage case. So that's a great question. I need to talk about this in a separate live show. But I'll talk about briefly right now. Is that yes, you're talking about spouse, that is possible, but that's considered a family preference category. So the key difference on okay, thanks for confirming that. The key difference about that is that you generally cannot, the law says you can't adjust status in the US. And adjust status means is different than consular processing because adjust status means in the US, like you don't have to leave. So if let's just say you're talking generally, I don't even know if it's really about yourself, but let's just say in general, if that foreign national or immigrant entered the US, that's really the first question. Okay. But if the spouse is a resident, you can't adjust status in the US unless somehow the beneficiary or the foreign national has maintained their non-immigrant status. And so, for example, like visitor visa is generally available or authorized for 6 months at a time. Custom officer could reduce the time for some random reason. I remember someone talked to us and last month, and they were just traveling right around like Christmas time to US, and that person was expecting, I don't know, a couple months at least, but they gave them only a week. So it's not always 6 months. But the key thing here is that the law, USCIS policy manual, does not allow a spouse, a foreign national spouse, to stay here for to receive the marriage visa, the green card, basically the resident status. So that person does have to eventually go back abroad outside the U.S. for the visa interview. But because here's a key thing, Rise of the Phoenix, you really need to, hopefully you're still on for this one, is that you need that person, the immigrant, needs to apply for a waiver. Okay, 601 waiver. Anytime someone has overstayed the visa or entered America undocumented, I hate to say this, but everyone knows this word, illegally. Okay, the 601A waiver is for unlawful presence. Okay, so it's really for both, really almost everyone, right? Unless the spouse is a U.S. citizen and you entered with a visa. Or even if you did not enter with a visa, then then you have to qualify for what we call, our team calls it golden nuggets. I'm sorry, golden ticket. Wait, golden nugget is like the casino, right? No, don't worry, I don't gamble there, or really, I limit my gambling. um, all legal, by the way. If a government official is watching this. Um, However, Rise of the Phoenix, let's say, I'm just going to pretend if you are the US citizen, if you are the green card holder, then to help your spouse who's a foreign national and has overstayed, then the best case scenario is that you become a US citizen. Yes, it will probably take a little bit more time, which, by the way, generally we say that you should you should probably expect it to take about 12 months processing for someone to become a US citizen, assuming you're eligible right now to apply. Thanks for all those that are joining on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. There's just a lot of information to share here. Right now, I'm answering a question that should be posted live on Instagram. Rise of the Phoenix asks, can a green card holder sponsor someone who overstayed a visa? So if that green card holder becomes a US citizen and you're eligible for it, I really recommend that. Fortunately, like our clients that have applied for N400 to become a US citizen, let's say they apply like, what do we just have? Someone recently, we applied, I think December 1st, around that time, and we just got the interview. We had a couple other ones that got the interview within a month. So it's even better. But key thing here, folks, I was going to be honest with you. It may not require a lawyer, but our law firm, the key difference with our law firm, we share with you the expectations. We keep track of your case. Like for example, even this one that was the interview got waived for the marriage green card case, the client didn't even know. And I thought that he knew because he told us before that he received the email notification before, but for this one, he didn't. And so I was curious why, but of course, I don't have direct contact at USCIS. I have so many curious questions I could ask USCIS, like why the hell is my client's case taking too long, or things like this, like why they don't get the notification. I think that's interesting, but I don't have anyone to answer that question. So what am I trying to say? That's one reason to hire a lawyer, at least, to keep you updated. So anyway, he was, of course, happy. Husband and wife were happy about that. So Rise of the Phoenix, I hope I answered your question. Short answer, yes, it's possible, but there could be more complications. If you become a U.S. citizen, or the actual sponsor, the green card holder becomes a U.S. citizen, and your spouse who's a foreign national does not have to leave the U.S. because of two main things. You had a visa, that person had a visa when they entered, the most recent entry, and that the spouse is a U.S. citizen. Okay, so two key things. Of course, again, there are some exceptions that we call golden tickets, so that allows you to become a resident here in the U.S. without having to leave. But that is really for, it could be possible for employment, but it's really based on family-based and victim-based, by the way. So hopefully that answers your question, Rise of the Phoenix. Let me switch back over to YouTube. Apologize to Anu. I know you asked a question earlier. You asked, you're hoping to get your U visa in 3 months' time. It's been close to 60 months. So my math is right. That's 5 years waiting. Can you then go and stay in India, live for free? Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. You need a world tour. I think you contacted our team before, right? So if you did, I think you did. So I need to check our system here to see if we can answer your question. Let me pull it up. Okay, so we got a YouTube a fan here who's basically asking, I think the main question is, if I'm on U visa, do I have to, assuming he or she has U visa, then can you travel anytime in and out if it's stamped? So yes, you can travel. I of course recommend you get the 131 advanced parole. The re-entry permit, even when using the same form, is really for green card holders. And you also asked, so most people, when they think about traveling, it's the concern is about maintaining status. I'm not aware, but I'll ask my team to double check. If you're on something like U visa, then there's no maintenance required of status in that, or for travel purposes, for physical preference. But I'll check on that. I know there's some rules on it, but it's not the same as when you become a resident necessarily. Okay, so let me see. I'm not sure if that answers your question because it seems like you have a couple. Um, but yeah, I just don't recommend you staying outside the U.S. All right. Let's see for adjustment. So it does require you to be physically in for green card purposes, and you have U visa, a continuous period of at least 3 years since you're admitted, right? So, of course, it doesn't say you can't leave, but I don't suggest like staying outside of America for a longer period of time than that. Continuous period again does not mean you have to stay in the U.S. literally the entire time. You can still travel like most other folks. Let's see here. Roy, please stay on. I'm going to answer your question. I just saw it. Let's see here. And Anna, you also asked how to get green card 6 months, cross country changeability. Okay. I was trying to check if you did call our team. If you called us before, I think you did, Anu. Maybe I'm wrong. But can you text us, Anu? Because there's some more information they share with you separately. Greatly appreciate that. Okay. I thought we had your email or information on. Maybe it's because your YouTube name is different. Let's see here. Okay, back to Instagram. Appreciate y'all joining. Let's see here. Maravim, you said you have a question. Can we download, print, and fill out appointment receipt for biometrics for a case directly from USCIS and take that, or should we take the original letter? For biometrics, I haven't had a client say that they had a problem when they took a copy of it. So it should be okay. It should not require original notice. In other circumstances, original notice is important. For example, 751, when you're traveling abroad and for some reason you don't have, especially when you have the receipt notice extends your status, that's really important. We've had a couple clients get stuck and they took the copy of it. And so, of course, through learning, we share these tips proactively to clients if their status, 751 status expired, a conditional resident status expired. But yeah, even sometimes we've had some clients didn't receive the biometrics notice and we just emailed it to them, or we shared in Dropbox. So again, we haven't heard complaints about it. So hopefully that works out for you. But maybe I should create a video about that biometrics because we do get a lot of questions about it. Your appointment is the 15th and you're getting anxious. Yeah, so it sounds like you got it from your lawyer, and then but it should be coming soon. It's kind of weird. Usually the client or the applicant receives the letter in the mail first, or maybe even if you don't have a lawyer but you got it online, maybe that's what you meant earlier. If you applied online, not all applications allow online, by the way. It's weird. You would think they'd do that. I think they limit it on purpose because if you apply online, inherently it should be faster. But I think they don't want to process cases too fast. Uh, I don't know. I think they have been like processing more cases, of course, this year or last 2022, much better than the previous 2 years. But anyway, yeah, if you got received it online or you applied online, then I think that's what you're talking about. Then I don't think you're gonna receive something in the mail also. So yeah, in that perspective, then you yeah, I wonder about that because of course we represent people, so we always get the mail or get the notice in the mail. So I don't know how it is when you file on your own and you apply online. But let us know, Marvin, if you don't mind DMing us in the future when you in a couple weeks. Today's 15th or today's the 6th. Your appointment's the 15th, so keep us updated. I'm kind of interested. Yeah, please share your feedback on that. Okay, on YouTube, I have a question here. Which, by the way, folks, if you're new to our channel, welcome. We share immigration tips. My perspective is really just sharing knowledge. Okay, we want to help prevent immigration problems. It's a huge deal. Of course, I can't solve every immigration problem that you may have because it might be too late. So that's why I'm sharing now, so to prevent it from happening in the first place. Even as simple as try to prevent it from being rejected. Rejected does not mean denied. So don't give up. All right. Even if you get denied a visitor visa, you might need to chat with a lawyer because I have a client that I think applied for visitor visa twice and they were married. So hot tip, you're probably not going to get the visitor visa issued to you if you don't have one already when you're married to a U.S. citizen, because they're already going to assume you have preconceived intent to stay in the U.S. So that's a hot tip right there. Well, really, the second hot tip is if you do have a relationship with someone in the U.S. who does have status, you might want to apply for a visitor visa before you get married. All right. So huge tip there in terms of timing. And that's part of what we share when you have a consultation with us. Is create an action plan for you, because a lot of folks think they know what they're doing when they read blogs and stuff like that. I get it, but we offer free 15 minutes. Like, look, we're not going to have like a EB5 or consultation on criminal consequences for 15 minutes. That's just impossible to create a plan for you, honestly, in 15 minutes in those kind of cases. But it just for the most part, we are able to provide a customized action plan for you in 15 minutes, which, by the way, is free. Of course, again, if you want to speak with me directly, my team forced me to charge money on that, and I think it's $199. So I don't know. Honestly, I thought it was a little high, but my what do you call it? My team says they talked to other lawyers and they said that that's actually reasonable. So I hope you realize that too. We're just here to solve your immigration problem. Okay. Now, Roy, to you, I guess is why I mentioned this, because Roy, can you invite your wife to the U.S. even with asylum still pending? I need to qualify that. I need to understand more about that, Roy. I hope you're still on, because your wife, a person can only apply for asylum when you're in the U.S. You can't apply before that person's in America. So maybe she applied for something else. Maybe you're referring to the humanitarian parole if your wife is from one of those countries. So hopefully I understand that question. Your question, Roy. Hopefully you're still on the channel so I can understand better. But yeah, we would have a lot of follow-up questions. So Roy, if you don't mind, we're happy to spend 15 minutes with you, one of my team members, to discuss if there's an action plan available for you. All right. You're welcome, Anu. Again, text us. Maybe you did already, so we can find a way to follow up with you and get your email, send you some information. Blessings to you, Marlon. Nice to see you again. Yeah, Roy, you're in the U.S. Great. Call our 720 number. This cough is killing me. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the right phrase. It's my cough is annoying me. Roy, okay, give us a call at 720 number, and our team can set you up for a free 15 minutes. Because I just the reason I'm highlighting Roy's comment or question also is because, for example, especially because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, which I know there's political talk about it. There are a lot more Western countries and European countries that are trying to help Ukraine and not help Ukraine at the same time. It's kind of weird, but anyways, because of all that, what Russians, the country of Russia, their actions, people have asked similar questions, like, could you just come to the border and cross? Yeah, it's not exactly that easy, aside from the logistics. And first of all, a lot of conservatives think, oh yeah, let's put up a wall. Let's put up a $5 billion wall, taxpayer money, and then that'll force people out. Yeah, I don't. That shows to me that you don't understand how people enter America. It's not always above ground. I've had people tell me it's below ground. Okay, so yeah, that's obviously just political talking point that they think $5 billion will solve the problem. $5 billion wall. But for better or worse, whether you like President Biden or not, the humanitarian parole program controls the flow of migrants. Obviously, if people are seeking asylum, the humanitarian parole is not going to control the flow, but it will control the flow for a lot of migrants, because not everyone here that enters the U.S., from my understanding, with speaking with people, our team, not everyone seeking is leaving their country because of fear of death, for example. It could be scarcity of jobs. Just quite simply that way. I hate to say simply, but it's not always about. So, anyways, the government, Congress does need to come up with a program that is obviously like work-based type of humanitarian parole in that sense. I think it would solve a lot of issues with the migrant flow. Excuse me. I understand. Sorry. This is not a political talk, but I just had to share that. But Roy, back to you, because highlighting his question, because we don't want people to show up to the border and then they get turned around. There's been lawsuits back and forth about Title 42. I think it's just safe to assume it's not a guarantee to be able to cross, even if the person is going to encounter customs. It's not quite that simple. All right. I mean, it's the U.S. government that can just turn you away, turn someone away. So yeah, and first of all, it's just really before that, it's just not safe to travel that way. Of course, I'm sure you've seen on social media all that, like caravan, a lot of people, migrants doing that, but just because other people are able to do it, you, on the flip side, you see all these other like horrific, consequences. Of course, people have died. So I can't, as a lawyer or just as a human, I can't advise anyone to just travel here, even if you could get a flight, okay? Because you travel here and then you might get turned around if you don't have a visa. So that's why, Roy, if you don't mind, just schedule a free 15 minutes, give us a call at our 720 number, and our team could provide you specific advice on what to do. Okay. So Roy, you're the one in the U.S. Okay, but maybe your wife is outside the U.S., or maybe your wife is in the U.S. Maybe I'm trying to figure that. I'm trying to figure that. I think you're saying now that your wife is in the U.S. So if your wife is in the U.S., now going to that other scenario, is that well, I still feel like you're trying to say that your wife is outside the U.S. But let's talk about this scenario. If your wife is in the U.S., then that's different, okay? Because you did say asylum still pending. But if your wife is in the U.S., then here, or spouse, if your spouse is in the U.S., then without entering the US without a visa, then yes, you would need a waiver 601 application. It's called Family Unity Waiver, provisional waiver. They have a couple different names to it if you Google search it. But if you like, I'm going to share a free guide with you about waivers. It's just so much information to talk about on the live show. All right, so hopefully that answers your question. Champion, Champion, thank you so much for chatting with my team the other week. Hopefully, which by the way, if you have a consultation with us, and then maybe a couple weeks later you have more questions, let us know. Send us an email or something like that, or I guess my cares team, they answer questions on DM or what's it called, text message. There's so many different ways, but yeah, happy to answer it because I do realize, I acknowledge that it's not 15 minutes might not be enough. And when you do have a consultation, maybe if it's a fiance or spouse, they're not available in the meeting, which I do recommend that both people are available. Champion, I don't know what it was in your situation, but it's always easier when both people are available in the consultation so we can answer all your questions at once. But I know people have different work schedules, so I get it. But come with all questions. We're always happy to answer it. I think the main thing is, folks, I know I'm gonna get stabbed by my team. They're gonna hit me over the head for saying this. You don't need a lawyer, okay? If you're still on with me, I appreciate it. You don't need a lawyer, but of course, it's always helpful with a lawyer to give you, number one, peace of mind, where they're available with you from start to finish. Unless you pick our light plan, then it's different. But our pro and max plan, we're there with you every step of the way. And no, it doesn't mean we're gonna bug you every single week. It's not like that, unless it's the first month, okay? Because we need to file your case. But other than that, we love to update you because it's really important that you know what's going on. All right. So I know it sounds strange, but I go to lawyer conferences and they don't feel the same way. I think that's kind of strange, but anyways. Hey, how's it going, Pella? Nice to see you on YouTube. Yep, Marlon, that is true. Well, folks, if you're new to our channel, thank you so much for joining. We do have free guides on our website. It's you go to greencardguides.com. Or if you're a little shy, it's okay. If you're not ready to schedule a consultation, it's okay. Or you don't want to use up your free consult, it's cool. Send us a DM if you're on Facebook or Instagram. We're happy to see what information we share with you for now. All right, to get you started thinking about your action plan. An action plan doesn't necessarily mean like you're gonna get the visa like next week, unless you're talking about TN visa. Back to my original topic of the day. Well, not that quickly, not in 1 week, but TN visa is a lot faster than most. But again, you have to be a national of Canada or Mexico for that visa, okay? And that is for people who are already outside the US. And for all those nurses out there, essential workers, it does include registered nurses. All right, so let's see. I have always so much to share, but folks, thank you so much. Let's see. I have way more stuff to talk about the topic, but I'll just have to record it separately to share with y'all. All right, so as always, here's a free guide that you can see on YouTube and Facebook channel. Right there, most popular one is about suing the government, mandamus. If you have an unreasonable delay, if your case is taking way too long, don't wait, folks. Take action. Do not wait. Okay, thank you so much, and y'all have a wonderful day.